well. Okay, all right. So dropping down to the daily time frame. So on the daily, you can see we've got like a double top here. And we also have like a head and shoulder type pattern here within this second leg. Price broke structure, right? Impulsive move down. So what are they coming to retest? What do we have here? So this zone was for yesterday. For the signal I sent yesterday, it didn't hold, it didn't play out. So we're going to remove it. We're also going to remove these tiny zones. Okay. Oh, it just removed my weekly zone. Okay, what did I do? Okay, let me just put them again. So we've got 59.50. We've got okay, now I'm forgetting which was I think it was 67.50 if I'm not mistaken. So what I do is I just round up these numbers to the nearest whole number. All right, so this is the weekly range, right? So once we have our weekly range, we know what we're anticipating or where price can come to. We drop down daily time frame. So within the daily time frame, we've got this double top, which I was explaining, a head and shoulder pattern on the second leg, and we've got a few structures which have been broken starting here. So we've got this structure here. Okay, so we'll round this up to 6,300. Let's see how it's going to look like. Okay, that's a point of interest for sales. So this is my current view, right? I'm anticipating price to come down here to around 59.50. So at the moment, what I'm looking for is any area where price can reject. So we've got the 13 EMA here. We've got a zone which was broken. So we can say that's a resistance zone. We also have a fair value gap here, a fair value gap here. So these are all areas where price can come to, right? So points of interest. So now we want to see how price will react when it gets here. So let's just quickly mark the other points of interest here. We also have this one. So that will be 63.80. Okay, I'll try to be fast because this is a full analysis. It might take some of your time. All right, so we've got these 2 points of interest on the red lines. The last one will be, so basically, if you cannot see the zones, you want to take maybe later. Okay, so basically, if you find it hard to see where price is turning, just switch your charts to the line chart here, so you can see where your price is turning. So you can see here, here, and we've got the last zone here. So I'm going to quickly put the last zone so that we can drop down to the 4-hour time frame. Okay, let's see the values here. We've got 64.75, 64.75. These are all points of interest, right? So if price comes into those areas and gives us something, then we can take a trade. They might come to the top side, possible, but if they actually come to take out these highs, they will definitely be coming to this weekly zone, right? Before we consider any sells. But that's a high time frame, and it might take a couple of days before it actually happens. So dropping down to the H4 now, H4 on our system, we are bullish. So at the moment, we're not selling anything until price gives us something on our point of interest. So these points of interest are all coming from a higher time frame as well. You can see that head and shoulder we had, right? Structures broken. This simply shows a downtrend. Once you start having lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. Then this is the first low which failed to break this low. So again, this could be a trend trying to change to go up, but until we break maybe these highs, I would say we're still in a downtrend because price can possibly give us a reaction here, give us a reaction here, or give us a reaction here. So all we have to do is stoke on this price, keep following it, and see what it wants to give us. All right, so this is our 4-hour chart. So on the 4-hour, currently we are bullish. So remember the crash we always sell. So I won't be looking for any buy signals. You can see this is the buy happening here. Price is now creating this is the lowest low, this is a higher low. Then price created a high here, then they broke it now. So that's a higher high. This is a higher low. So on a smaller time frame, price is retracing slowly going up. So we only want to either sell a retracement of this price trickling up or actually catch the move, which will actually give us a continuation going to the downside. So for now, I would say that's my view. These 3 points of interest. I'll give the values now. So we've got points of interest at 6,300 is a point of interest. 6,300 is a point of interest. We've got 6,375. Let me actually put it on my notes. Okay, so C1000, we got points of interest at 6,300, points of interest at 6,375, and we've got a point of interest at 6,480. So for now, we just have to wait for price to give us something solid. So that's the H4. Let's see if H1 is with something we can use. Again, nothing. You can see price is sort of like trying to push up here, and we are currently on the buy side of my trading system. So we don't want to trade against the current trend which we are seeing right now. Until price gives us something, maybe we will sell a retracement, like I said, or if we do get a reversal within this small time frame move, then we can sell it in line with the higher time frame buyers. So I think for C1, that's it. We just stop at H1 since we've just figured out that we're going up. But if price breaks this zone for some reason, let's say for some reason they stop here, then they start coming down. Once we break here, then the downtrend will actually continue and we will continue looking for sales. So for now, uptrend, we don't have anything besides these points of interest which we have. So I'm going to quickly jump to C500. On the weekly, we're in a downtrend. We're still setting all-time lows. This is the all-time lows on C500. So we don't know where price will stop. But for me, I'll say this price looks like it might actually reverse from here. So I don't want to get too carried away and jump into a sell unless it's actually worth it. So let's mark, this is the current lowest low, all-time low of C500. So 32.53. Maybe price can challenge that low. I'm not sure. But after such a drop, price usually will actually retrace. On the daily charts, like I said, we might get price just coming to challenge this all-time low here, setting a pattern for the buys to start happening. So if we get a sell, it will be short term. These are the current zones I would be looking at. So that's a lower low which was broken. We'll just pay attention to that area just in case price wants to give us something. Then on the H4, we might actually get sales there is a possibility of sales going back to challenge the lows, completing a pattern for a reversal for us to get buys. But again, we only sell the crash, so we're only looking to go short. So let's drop to H1, also enticing. Let's see. Okay, we actually missed on the spike. I wouldn't want to jump in now. Let's see. What can we use here? So my reasoning for a sell, I'd love price to retrace before I can actually sell it. If we can get a retracement, we can sell. But right now, I feel like price is taken off already. Let's see. If we can get a retracement into these red lines, we can consider a sell, a short-term sell on C500, looking for price to come towards yesterday's lows. That would be my setup right now. So if we can get price coming back here right now, rejecting, we can get a nice drop. What I don't want to is to get in here because the retracement might come or price might actually start pushing up. You get it? So I'll prefer to get a retracement and a nameable candlestick pattern anywhere into these red lines, then I can consider a sell. And again, you should be in mind price can still come towards the previous day's high, which is this area, and actually sell from there. So they will extend today's highs here, then sell back to yesterday's lows. So for now, C5 looks like it's the one which might pay, or which might form a setup immediately. All we need is a retracement. Okay, let me check how big this retracement is. It's actually 4 pips. 10, 12. I think we can hold 12 pips. So let's see. H4, we are on the sell side of the system. So the daily, we are on the sell side of the system. H4, we are on the sell side of the system. Oh, again, we just spied. I actually wanted to sell a CMP since the retracement was only 10 pips. At least once you calculate that you can hold 10 pip loss, you can still enter current market price, but you just be managing your trade. So for now, I don't want to enter here because for me, prices already moved like a considerable portion. As much as it is small, there's a bit of momentum here. So I would have preferred entering here or actually entering here. So if this continues to drop, then for me, that's a miss. For me, that's a miss. And again, it's a short-term sell. And we are targeting the weekly lows from yesterday's lows or the all-time lows. So yeah, that's a miss there. Unless we get a retracement. So the current 4-hour candle closes within the hour. There's about 58 minutes for it to close. So let's just see how price acts. Let's just see how price acts. If I do feel like we're coming down, or if we get a proper setup, I'll share this signal in the group. But for now, I don't want to enter here. I would rather wait for price to retrace then enter. Okay, so that will be my setup there. And the target basically will be about 29, 30 pips. This is a 30 pip scalp unless they break the zone, maybe retest it and continue pushing down. We might consider holding or entering another sell. So C1000, that's my current view. Sorry, C500, that's my current view. C300s hasn't been behaving too good. Basically, it's not really like it hasn't been behaving, but we've been trying to force sells. That's what I think. You can see weekly, we've been bullish. We are trading about the 13 EMA. So basically, we're bullish on the weekly. And I feel like we're coming all the way up here. Okay, let me actually put this line. We're coming all the way up there. On the bottom side, we've got this low. So yeah, if price comes around 4,700, if price comes around 4,700, that's our point of interest for sales. Okay, this is 3,000. Okay, all right. So I want to see price come up to 4,700. I want to see price come up to the 50 EMA before I can consider sales. And I also want to see like a clear move, a clear cut move. Yesterday I wanted sales. You remember in the group I even shared that we'll get a good sell, but you can see how the daily candle actually eventually closed. It wasn't really favorable for the sales. You can see how it closed. So 1, 2, 3 days, there hasn't been anything. Today's day number 4. There's no momentum in any direction. Price is literally like all over the place. That's why we haven't been getting the best of trades on C500. You can see my markings yesterday. Let's go to H1. Okay, you can see yesterday price literally refused to sell, to drop actually, because we had this order block here. Price came, dropped. This one I missed. When they came back up, I thought we were gonna drop here, so I was in a sell here. They took me out. I'm not sure if I entered again, but I think I was done for the day. So today, let's see. They might come down, but I'm not really excited until I get momentum on the daily chart. So we are waiting for a solid daily candle to close, either green or red, so that we know exactly where they're going. You see, if you get price action like this, all this here is choppiness. But once you start getting solid candles like this, you can start to maybe look for setups. So you can see after this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days of choppiness. Then we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days of good moves. Then price slowed down again. A lot of choppiness. Then momentum. 2 days again. 1, 2, 3. Today's day number 4 of choppiness. So C3, I'll prefer to wait. Maybe we might even trade it tomorrow after we see how the daily candle closes. So I have nothing much to say about C300. If you decide to trade it, just trade with caution. If you want to sell it, price is to break today's lows at least. Then we might consider a short-term sell back to the previous day's lows. So you want a break of this area, a retest, and a continuation for sales. But otherwise, I would stay away from it until we get clear momentum in the markets. B1000, I haven't been active on it. I actually haven't been active on many things since we had that electricity issue from Thursday last week. If you notice, from Thursday we've been off. We only got electricity yesterday. So if you notice, my signals were not so great because I was not using my PC. But anyways, B1000, you can see we've got bullish momentum from the daily. I would love to sell, to buy B1000 right now if I can get an entry. So where's the entry here? Where is the best place to actually buy? So this is yesterday's highs, which has just been broken right now. If price can retest that area there, I can consider a buy. If we can just get a retracement here, I can consider this, taking a buy from around that area. So that will be around, let's see, that will be around 13,680. 13,680. That's a point of interest for buys, which should actually be a flip zone buy. So it's just yesterday's high broken. and we are waiting for a retest. So we're just keeping it simple there on B1000. So let me just look at M30. All right, we actually came late. You can see this was the best area to take buys, right? We broke a little structure here, retested it. We just had momentum all the way. Momentum has actually been much since morning. So I'm not quite sure how big the retracement is going to be. We don't want to buy here because it's late. We would rather wait for price to come to a zone, at least reject and give us something. Maybe they might come to the 50 EMA or give a pattern here. That's what we are looking for on B1000. So C5 retracements, B1000 retracement. Those are the two pairs right now, or two assets which could potentially give us a setup or a trade today. Same as B5 looking at H1, I'll say this looks like it wants to push up right from current market price, but I don't like trading B500s. Okay, so from the weekly, we're bullish and we look like we're coming all the way up to 5,500, right? I feel like we're coming all the way up to 5,500s or 5520 area. That's where B5 is going. When we drop to the daily now, we've got a fair value gap here. Let me quickly mark it. If we can get a retracement into this fair value gap, that will be a nice buy right there. Because that fair value gap is also falling within an area which looks like it's a flip zone. You can see these highs here from the beginning of the month. They've been broken. So if price can come back for us and bounce right in that area. So we've got two confluences. It's a broken zone, which is now a support. We've got a fair value gap within that area on a daily chart. And it will also be in line with the 13 EMA right there. So this here is a high probability area or setup which is forming. So I would love to see them come down at least into the zone before we get an explosive push up, which we should hold, because that would definitely, it looks like it will pay. We can hold it all the way to 5520, which is a weekly zone, right? So what we're looking for is a retracement and a continuation. So let's check H4. H4, we've got nothing except this candlestick, of which we're already on the buy side of my system. Same as H1. So B1, let's just be patient with it. Let's see what they want to do. If they decide to push up for now, I don't think I'll be interested to take buys yet. I would love to see them come all the way down. So they should extend this low, come all the way to yesterday's lows. In this area, that's where I'm looking for buys. So today they might actually push, extend the highs, induce early buyers, then take them all the way out, take out the stops, then come into this higher time frame zone before actually pushing up. So this area here is my point of interest. Let's see. Thanks. Of course, we need those Xmas pips. Yeah, we need Christmas pips, bro. We need Christmas pips for sure. We'll definitely get some clean setups. We just need to be more patient and only try to take high probability setups. So B500, I would love to wait for them to come into the zone. So anywhere from 47.60, let's say 47.65 to 47.25 is this zone here. That's my zone where I would love to actually buy it. If we can get a nice pattern there, maybe a W pattern or any candlesticks which might be rejecting that area, I would actually advise us to buy. I'll share the signal because I'll be stalking all these assets which we're talking about. So that's my point of interest from 47.25 to 47.65. It's a high probability zone to actually take some buys. Okay, so that's it for B500. Then J10. Okay, just from the glance, I remember from last week, this was well marked for a buy. I remember we had a trend line here. Right, so I was hoping price would actually come and hit the trend line before we can maybe start looking for buys. So I've got the trend line, I've got this low here, just below the trend line. I've got these highs here. What else do I think for now? That's it. So I'd love to actually sell. I think from last week, if you joined last week's sessions, I mentioned that if at any point I get any setup for sales, I'll take it because from the higher time frames, I'm anticipating price to come to at least give a third touch or maybe actually break the trend line. They might actually do this, right? So that's what I'm currently waiting for. So let's check the daily. So I don't know if anybody caught the sales from last week because the last analysis I think we did on Tuesday. But this week our analysis is every day. Every day I'll try to dedicate an hour just for us to get through the charts all the way until Thursday. So we'll try to have daily analysis like this. So we've been selling. Where can we sell from right now? So we are having a retracement to this move. We have to agree that we are in a downtrend, right? Lower lows, lower highs. So prices are retracing up right now. What do we have? We've got this candle standing out here. So for me, that's a supply zone right there. That's a supply zone, meaning it's a zone which we can sell from. So if you go to H4, you see that that zone is lying within the 50 EMA. We're currently coming below the 50 static, which is in line with our sell bias from the higher time frame. So J10, I would love to see them come anywhere in this area. So anywhere from 86 for let me get the exact value here. Anywhere from 86,500 actually, from 86,500. We should start looking for a sell there. Once we get to 86,500, let's see how the price action will be painting, and we can potentially get a sell trade. So 86,500 is a point of interest. J10 we traded both ways, so I'll just drop down to a smaller time frame now and see if we cannot scalp a buy. Okay, price can also come up into this level here. Let me just fill it. Okay, that's also a point of interest there. And we also have this supply zone here, right on the 200 EMA. So we've got those points of interest. We've got this zone, we've got this zone, and we've got this zone, 3 zones. So if we get a reaction here, we can still take a sell. If they break, but they react here, we can still take a sell. If they break O2 and come here, we can still take a sell. Because remember, from the high time frame, we are anticipating price to fill that space going down to the trend line. So I would say with confidence that if we can get a sell setup, right, price will definitely come all the way down. So yeah, we just be patient and see. So currently we are in the retracement move. Price intraday is creating higher highs and higher lows. If you want to see that, you can drop down to M5 or M15. From the morning, from this low, you can see price came up and created a high. came down, created a low, which was taken out, but they didn't take this out. So this is a higher low. Then they pushed all the way up. Pattern is not so clear, but intraday, I would say we are pushing up. You can see here, line chart, we're pushing up, but I don't have, again, any possible entry to buy. I would rather wait for sales, which is in line with my higher time frame bias. So I'll wait for price to come all the way up here. So this could be later in the day, possibly in the evening, but we'll be stalking it. I'll advise if we get a setup. So sometimes price might not get to all those zones. Or so if they don't, and if I see a pattern, I'll still advise. So you just want to mark this would be the last level, which is possibly the last low, which is quite visible to all of us. So if price gets to that low and breaks it, then we can consider sales. So you want to mark the zone here. It's on M15, the last visible low on M15 on your charts. You can just mark it, then wait. So let's say they don't get to the zones up here. If they come and break this, then we are looking for a retest and a continuation down. That's like the skeleton of the setup. So as price moves, it will give us more data and we will try to decipher what they want to actually do. Then V250, I remember we had nice sells from last week for those who caught it. Today, what are we looking at? Let me just check the weekly. We're strongly pushing down, right? But we've hit a zone here. I'm sure we agree. Prices hit a zone here. Because remember, a zone is not one line. A zone is like an area. So if you calculate from the wicks and the bodies of these candles here and you just drag them forward, that's the zone where prices hit. So for us to actually continue selling prices to break 172110, they have to break that zone on the weekly for us to actually consider more sales, and they will definitely be coming to this zone on the bottom here. So for this zone, I think we're going to use this. All right, this is where price will potentially be coming to on the weekly. So we want them to break that zone first. So before we get there, remember this is the weekly, so price can still also bounce right here and it can actually go up. You get it? So if you're in the zone, the best thing is to wait price out to get something clear. If you see a setup, just scalp it for now until price is sort of clear. Like right now on the daily, they even hit the 200 EMA, so we might get a retracement all the way up to the 50 EMA. So those are short-term buys for now, which can also be considered unless we break the zone, right? So let's check H4. You can see H4 has been steady pushing down, so we definitely need a retracement. So we could potentially get a buy. Right now. It looks like it is a buy. Let's see. Let's see. This is the last order block here before this move down. So if you just mark the order block, you see price is breaking that. We're trading above the 50 baseline. So let's see how the current candle closes. Price can potentially get to the 200 EMA, which is up here. So we'll use these levels as take profits. All these levels from yesterday, we would love to take a buy on V2501S. We'd love to take a buy there. So that's M15, M5. But we need to wait for M15 to close. So like M5, you see right now, price can also retrace. We need that retracement on M5 before we can consider buys. So I think that's it for me today. The signals, I'll send them through the Telegram group. So right here on V250, I'm waiting for price to sort of retrace into this area here. right? If price gets to 186040, we can consider buys. 186040, 186040. Once we get there and we reject this zone, we should buy V2501S. So I think that's it for me. Time, I'm only left with 1 minute in this session. I don't know if there's any questions which I can quickly look at. If somebody's got a question. Okay, let's keep an eye on C1. Let's actually sell C1. I'll give my reasoning on this trade. I'll give you the reasoning on Telegram. But let's actually sell C1. It's a scalp sell. It's a short-term sell for now. As the meeting is ending, I'm looking at the previous day's highs. Prices taken out today's highs here, shifted the zone. So this should drop at least to here. So sell C1000 now at current market price and expect 30 pips at least. 30 pips at least. Okay, I'll give the updates on Telegram. My Zoom session was recorded. I'll share it soon as it finishes downloading. So thank you so much for joining. If you've got questions, we can still continue this chat on Telegram. Then if you're watching this video